Let's get started. Today, I'm going to show you how to create a candidate pool in Teamtailor, as well as how to nurture it. I'm going to share my screen quickly. Perfect. So the first feature I would like to show you is a feature that is not used by many customers, but that is really nice if you really want to put your users into groups. So it's called the groups feature. And it's particularly useful for the candidate pool, as it's a possibility for you to give access to certain users that might be managers, that might be, I don't know, other users on the system that might need access to the candidate pool. Because as you are admins, most of you will have all of these tabs that I have right now, right? But maybe someone that is not on the job will not have the candidates tab, which is the tab we're going to focus on today. So let me present you the groups. The groups allow you to create a hiring team, a pre-made hiring team in Teamtailor that you could add to a job. But it's also a way, as you can see, to give access to the candidate database to users with a lower level of access. Okay? So I took the CSM team to represent my team to explain you how it works. You will set up a manager, so this will be useful for the jobs, but you will be able to add members to this group, okay? You could give access to certain candidates based on the departments they are attached to, the locations they are based at, or a tag that is assigned to them. I will also show you later how you could assign tags more quickly and more efficiently to candidates. But for the specific example, all the users that are attached to the customer success group here will have access. So Erica, Krista, and Amelia will have access to the customer success candidates here in the candidates bank. Okay. So very quickly, but just if you want to give access to, I don't know, the marketing team, sales team, or just some location, so people close to a certain region could have access to some candidates, this could be a good workaround. Okay, let's go into the candidates tab. So this is where you will find your candidate bank. Okay, I'm going to show you some of the buttons. So here you will be able to add a candidate if you want to. So if you want to source a candidate right away, you can just attach their CVs and it will autofill the profile. Okay, you add the candidate. This is where we also have the search tab. This is where you can search for candidates and also do Boolean research. So let's say a CSM, and you see I have the example, and English. And then I have these three candidates that have CSM and English on their candidate profile. All right. This is a great way to find quickly candidates, but you can also do bulk actions. You can bulk select candidates. Let's say I can select these three candidates, all the whole candidate bank if I want to. You could move them, send them a message, add them to a specific job, or have a whole list of action you can perform. Okay, perfect. You see, I have all of these columns. So name or email, the candidate status, application status, and all of these. Just so you know, you can customize these with the customized columns. So as you can see, these are the columns that I have, but maybe I want to have the activity to see the last activity that was on the candidate. And here I scroll a little bit and I have the activity. Okay. This is really nice because, again, as I showed you, you can bulk select all the candidates. And here you could export. And then you could have a CSV file with all your candidates' data. So if you want to work with certain data, I don't know, in Excel, for instance, you could use that. Amazing. Now, before I show you the segments, I'm going to explain you all the filters that you can have in the candidate pool. So as you can see, you can filter on your candidates. We have a big list of filter. Let's say you want to see all the referred candidates. So referred candidate, yes, done. And I have 4 in this case. All right. You could add another filter, which could be the candidates that are maybe in a certain stage. You could have a name in the cover letter, in the resume, a tag, you'll see, and a stage type. So for example, here I'm saying this because I have these 2 examples. but I want to see the candidates that are referred and that are in inbox. So here I have these two filters. Let's say it's these two filters. I want to use them quite often. I really want to have a look at the candidates that have been referred, that are in inbox. So what you can do is that you can save them as a segment. So this is the little button I didn't explain earlier. But segments are categories of candidates that you can pre-save. So you can addition several filters. You can just have one as you want, but you can save them. You can give it a name. So let's say referred candidate inbox. And I forgot an R. You can change the emoji. You can make segment just for you. So if it's just a segment of candidates you want to have a look at sometimes just for you, or you can make it appear for all users if you think it would be beneficial for them. Let's create a segment. And here I can find my referred inbox. As you can see, I have some marketing that have the tag Canva and that are attached to the marketing department. You can have plenty and plenty of segments. As you can see here, I have the department marketing. So if, as earlier I showed you with the customer success department, the candidates would appear just for the people that have access to them. So that's how it works. I'm going to go back to all the candidates. One really nice way to filter candidates, and especially for you if you want to start building your candidate pool, would be to tag your candidates. All right. If you tag them, the tags are these little stickers somehow that you can put on a candidate. Let's say I'll take Arna here. You see, you have the tags here. So you can have a list that you have maybe pre-created in your settings, but you can also create them, as long as you create it. So let's say if I want to call one tag, candidate pool. Okay, so maybe it's my way of keeping this candidate for later. It could also be the star rating, but the tags are a really nice way to save your candidates for later. So here I have the tag. It's really nice. So then you can just see all the candidates that have the tag candidate pool. Here. Perfect. It will show. You just need to update the candidates. Was too recent. But again, he has this tag. All right. One way, because as you saw, I just put it manually on the candidate, but sometimes that's not necessarily something you would like to do. Maybe you would like to automatically tag your candidates on a job. So maybe once they have been through a certain interview, if you want to keep them for later, just go into the jobs tab. Okay. So there are two ways of adding tags automatically. I'm going to show you if you want to create it from scratch, right when you create your job, you just edit the job, go to stages. And here you see you have all these little actions that you can put on the candidate. Let's say once they have been through the group interview, I would like to tag them with, I don't know, good candidates. You could select a tag. I will create one. Good candidate, let's say, because they have been quite far into your process and it means for you that you would like to keep them maybe for later. Add trigger. So here I have the trigger. Another way to add this, so you can see it here, is directly into the job. So I've added this into the group interview. So you can also, this is a second way to do it, add the triggers there and add tag candidates. So if you have already some active jobs, you could add them there. Okay. All right. So this is for the triggers. If you want to add automatically some tags to your candidates, that would be super nice. Another one that I would like to show you is the nurture campaign. So this is another feature that you could use because once you've started to build your candidate pool, so you have all of your segments, let's say we have the CSM segment, you want to maybe keep in touch with them because the goal is not only to accumulate candidates in the candidate pool, it's also to interact with them. So we have the nurture campaigns. So the nurture campaigns allow you to send campaigns of emails that you can build from scratch. I'm going to create one just so you can have an example. So it's very easy. I could have a test campaign, and then you will need to add several touch points. By touch points, we mean emails, obviously. And you could choose who should be the sender. So in this case, I would be. You could be as well a fake user that you would call the hiring team. This would be maybe for a new job opening. I don't know, for a developer, let's say Java. You could just write your email, and then you can send two types of emails to the candidates. Either the branded email. So we would take your company logo and the colors that you have on your career sites. The second option is the plain text. So it would be just like if you send out the email manually. So it looks way more personal, but both work. It really depends on the type of campaign that you want to send. I have some customers that send newsletters, that send, I don't know, good wishes at the end of the year. It could be any type of email. In this case, we have a new job opening. So now I've added my first email. The second one I'm going to add. So let's say test 2. And this one, I want to send a branded email. And I save. And now what's interesting is that you can set up a number of days between these two emails, because the goal is really to set up a campaign with different touch points. In this case, I have 2, but you can set up more, right? And you will need to choose when a candidate will exit the campaign, okay? Because your goal is to interact with the candidate, but it's maybe not to send out, I don't know, 5 emails, but to end once they have performed a certain action. So of course, we will remove a candidate from the campaign if they want to unsubscribe, which makes sense. The second option would be when a candidate applies for a job. So this will be the case for my campaign, because I want to send a campaign to some candidates as I have new job openings that they should have a look at them. Once a candidate has applied, they will be removed from the campaign. Another possibility would be if you would like to interact with the candidate. Maybe the goal is for you to start a conversation with them. Once they have answered the message, they will exit the campaign. And then the last one would be if a candidate connects with the company. So Connect, it's our feature where a candidate can create a profile for themselves and they can subscribe to the new job openings. So they would receive an email, an alert to the new, whenever there is a new job opening that would match their needs. Okay, so these are all the possibilities. If you want, you can test the campaign. So I would receive the campaign to see what it looks like before I send it to real candidates. And then you can also save it as a draft and save it. But again, this is just how you set up the campaign. We don't have any candidates, right, in it. One possibility would be that if you go back to the candidates tab, here I would have my CSM segments. I could choose all of them. As you can see, I can choose all of them. And again, you remember all the actions that you can perform. There, you can add them to a nurture campaign. And this is where you would add, for example, marketing with experience. It could be any campaign that you have set up, but this is how you add the candidates to the campaign. I've both added them, but you could also just have a look at one candidate. And here, you can also, you can add them to a nurture campaign. That's also a possibility. Okay. One last feature that I really want to show you that could enhance the way you build your candidate pool. It's a feature that got some love recently and that I really like. It could be very useful for you. It is our sourcing extension. So if you don't have it, it's free. You can, for Google Chrome, for example, you can just Google Teamtailor sourcing extension and you can add it to your browser. It's very straightforward, as you can see here, Teamtailor browsing. And here you have access to your whole candidate bank. So if you are, I don't know, on LinkedIn, you could have a look at if you have already these candidates in your database. This is a way for you to also add candidates directly. So you can just drag and drop their CVs and it will fill in all the information and you can add them to the system. So this is a nice way to work on headhunting and all this, all the candidate experience. I'm just gonna go there. Yes, so this is a way for you to just source. As I said, you can add the candidates and you remember the tags and the comments, you can already add them here. And once you've added the candidates, they will be added directly into your candidate pool. Okay. Amazing. So this is one of the sourcing extension. I will show you how you can add them. So it depends on the browser that you have, obviously, but here it will open for your own browser. So I'm on Chrome, so you can see it uses the Chrome here extension possibility. But if you are on Firefox, you can also use it. But just click here, browser extension, and then you can download it and use it. So I really hope you learned a lot today. Don't hesitate to contact our colleagues in the chat if you have any questions regarding this or your CSM directly. We're very happy to show you how you can enhance your use of the system. And we have some articles as well. Again, if you want to go more into details on the nurture campaign, you can just go here and how to set up email campaigns. And you will see a full articles, and we have some videos as well that you could watch. Thank you very much for joining today, and I wish you a lovely day. Bye-bye.